ewo baby abeko bia edri pacha oya ajibenum esanse ensuo eyenkwa ye was special drinks ahodo ni nyina wodwom entine eya for fidie aya no numbi wate esanse oye special aponto bia snepiem wono mu a na wakasa bo na badini se mma me special baako na me so me special ni bi ye wo best point savings loans ye Ghana sika kwa bia batai ye gi sika fi wono mu ade ye adwuma esan de sika eto wono mu ema no eyeye ade ebe na wo po sika dwadie ho a best point entimi nyama wo wodi ebra na oni ye mekasa keke your best assurance so ho no mu a eyensi achi badwumaku ebre wakwa wonyenye mu akwa amane mu a wani ndaso nyina asano ne ye wotwa kankwan de bebam na yaba abeboa wo there was special ice ni nyama bebre this way chocolate drink anum de papa bi de wo hia ene ensuo hye madu ko no ebi eka ho na ebo ye chidom na ensem ye de eba no de dimu akotini ebi ene say Ghana mapanyin na nadoda kwa kufu ado de atodwa akyere abibiman penifo so munya niam ebebo ma bibiman adiye
2022 Ghana International Product Award abasobode adwumadie no akoso ma opani kwankyerefo a woda Ghana Export Promotion Authority wakopie mu ewase
Ghana Immigration Service boda gas penifo de ababetodwa se enkrofo bi atupia fajan ewo Nigeria mem enu ntie susu betimi aboman mu yanyahwe
na aya idol ada afahye yi de yetie hugu monten so ekohwe se de nema ekọ ewodwem adwadifo bibiri akere wo mu adwen ewo adeto ehu
wono moto omwa bi etise nantwie ene adwan ahodo no se afuwe de koyie papa enya asem keto yetade ma wo
na wa manone nsem nso no wo Ukraine no abetodwa se service personnel dodo no na sese yehu wo mu akira kwan ehu nsem nyina ye de ba besom mu
ensem no ebi eka ho ene yabone bede de ba besom wo medin ede akua achi ho akode mene
ajoa obia
afa ensem no enchiremu eni Ghana mampanyin na adodanko akufu ado akasa ene ode atodwa akire bibiman penifo se ebere aso se yebo ye ho so eye adwumaden epagya ye man na oman no eye krabehwe wochema no wose bibima bedi yie ebibima bekoyie ebibima bewie mudie na emumabunu ene ema ne mema no enye adwuma ya na ese akandifo no etwa sapato won ho omogyehye niema yie fa niema tutu yie na amaniema akoso esanse mpanyini se baabi ade ne hye no wamfa nhya efrito wasese ne diama ebibiman ene aba ne ho so ese etimi yire ye ho no ene Ukraine Russia fo ntokwa na afa coronavirus na ebebo mu no Ghana mampanyin na okasa ede ache bibiman penifo ebra na boma Africa dwumadie no ekoso omampanyin akufo ado se ebehwa masikasam akoyie na ne mapawie mu die dia ese bibiman penifo ne akandifo no eye omafa mu die ehwe tutu ne mayi ede ma adehye.
On this auspicious Africa Integration Day, I'm joining you to participate in the dialogue on the theme Taking Stock of the African Century, which is an apt theme for the times in which we find ourselves. As the world confronts its third major economic and financial crisis this century, one can inquire philosophically about what will be left of this century for us to inherit. I believe the time has come for the continent of Africa and the entire world to think very hard about the models and instruments we've created for dealing with economic and financial crises. In my capacity as the African Union Champion for Financial Institutions, I'm called upon to ask fundamental questions about the continental architecture for managing economic crisis. It has become apparent in recent times that Africa needs to accelerate the realization of its envisaged institutions for financial crisis resolution, such as the Africa Monetary Fund. Africa's rise is dependent on how effectively we build and entrench these continental buffers and cushions. But as the 42nd President of the United States of America, President Clinton, has often said and reiterated at this moment, there is a limit to what any one part of the world can do to defend against a truly global crisis. The global system for addressing economic downturns needs repair and fine-tuning so that it can be more proactive and equitable, especially for those regions of the world that continue to bear the greatest brunt of these downturns, such as Africa. In the world where conflict in one part of the world immediately disrupts economies far away from the epicenter of the conflict, and when a virus is able to wipe away decades of growth from an economy, we cannot assign responsibility for managing crises to domestic actors alone. We cannot leave small economies exposed to these vagaries of the international system to their fate, insist that they suffer the consequences alone. The international process for supporting such countries has to be fairer and more robust. I share the view of the optimists who say that this is Africa's century. However, I fear that the structural and recurrent flaws of the international economic order will rob us of our prize if we do not work harder to make an impact on its course and character. That is why we must hasten the process of continental integration. Continental unity and collective agency is the only path to building influence to push successfully for the reform of the multilateral economic and financial systems that affect our ability to respond to crises that threaten our rise as a continent. When we think of Africa before our individual countries, we're not just being Pan-Africanists, we're being true nationalists, because what makes Africa stronger will make each of our individual countries stronger and more prosperous. It is time for those of us who believe in continental integration to give enthusiastic support to continental decisions and inspire confidence and integrity in the structural organs of the African Union. Our people deserve no less, and the dream of prosperity will then be within our grasp.
Otitina ni ya Oda Ghana Gas anu board chairman Emma Ghana Gas Honorable Kennedy Akompreko Japan na odi atudwa se nimpanimfo oni omu ye adwuma Ghana Gas wa wo mu amfa buo eni anidi ama na nomata nkonwa wo mu ye adwuma wo mu nsase so no obepe kwan ahodo bi obetimi afa so ayi wo mu nyina di efise adwuma no a wo mu ye ne nsase no ye na nomata nkonwafo wo mu dia enu nti nsem bi afa wo mu ho no wantimi anka nkire wo mu a na ha adwen kakra odi sa nsem we nyina tudwa wabra na oni na nomata nkonwa wo mu ewo nzema manle abato mpesua so woni wo mu etwetwe nkomo
na kwa wo mu tiri so de mo ka ya se Because the government of America, which is good news, they are again, and they are not. They do not say, yeah, Dina, we use us. And yesterday, it was our way at home. I want to see what you say. We see the affair of Solaseva. That's how we are main Monsa is the Mamma as the woman of the said that it's not a Sadly, gas in the heading of Solas is still the way of what Africa. Our king has a name. A Juma Ghana Gas and no one among the deep Jawan. Edianka, Omuni, the office in Yorene, Omun, and Juma, Ghana Gas, and it is
Ukwadano na July day to Sunsia and then Crefi Nigeria memo eba yese omune duefie baako a yekoji a eno no ewo Abuja no ewo na omuda wo no etupia fajan na na omududu omugu ne duefie mu ahanwotwe ene aduoso enkono 879 na emu no sese a omune ehu mbachira kwane ahanan ne aduanan miensa 443 eno na Ghana Immigration Service penifo eden krata ba bonti kire mu se na sese wo hwe sede Nigeria fo ne esi Ghana ha se omutu bataba ha ebobo bra no a ebia na wo no mu adwane afi ne duefie anase prison no ebi aba bepiem antiema yani ena ho wei ene ye kwa homa ne so ne ani owura Emmanuel Kutin edi enkomo ni mu de efa bambo ho eja majoy
mejo so me tiatifo nyina so
yo etiefo eje wo so se ye hwe de asi e Nigeria yo beka se Ghana ni Nigeria de nka yetachi ni kuro na ke baba mbo so dia anka yetie ba bi no mu so ti o mba bi ade na immigration for de ensem we ba betu enim se yenya hweye
yo me da se terrorism no one country back who cried to me and confronted the threat of terrorism, a cross-border crime. And Tina, we share what is happening within the Sahel. Once it started free Mali with the Tuareg rebels and democracy in Zanzibar when there was repression on the rights of the citizens, preventing them to demonstrate in Nema. When na ECOWAS and na no tusu na basa kosi na terrorists ninya space, and you know these terrorists almost share on government spaces. The same thing happened in Burkina Faso, Oshe Cote d'Ivoire, even Togo. Now, what is a blast BC or Togo? 7 children died. And the hygiene say. And Kayese ECOWAS intimate in Shishabi in intelligence sharing. On say jailbreak will happen on the 6th of this month. We shall let our mature Abregana for now. It was on the 8th, 48 clear hours. And we share the demographic nature of the Sahel region. Sa abasa foi. Omo bebagana, omo wagana dada. And so me feel say there is something wrong with the security architecture of ECOWAS. And we intelligence now almost share with the Ghana counterpart. Not necessarily writing a letter to the immigration service of Ghana, soliciting their help on how we can also patrol our borders to help them arrest these people. And there's something so significant. Jailbreak, we know. It is the terrorist organization and Kasana organize here. Me share videos maybe.
Oh, okay.
And videos maybe how they stage the jailbreaker and Assam Kitwa Kra. And this is the second time in less than 2 months there has been a jailbreak in Nigeria. The first one, the Nigerian counterpart didn't even ask for help from Ghana. Once the Nigerians phone, we have a lot of unapproved borders. Intermediate, it is a little too late with Nigerians asking the help. And yes, terrorism, no. In the fight against terrorism. Yes, almost the movie. In the fight against terrorism, intelligence sharing and management is very key. Okay. So, there's no credible intelligence sharing within the ECOWAS sub-region. But me wo to phobia na me pese me from Ghana by.
Okay.
Nigeria today. Nigeria is almost a failed state because Juma ni ho economic activities in Koye. Anytime Basa is normally close to elections. Once Nigeria will call elections next year.
Yes, next year.
Ghana will call in 2 years. In many of the West African sub-regions, normally will call elections. And yes, the government are buying a balancing act between national security, human security, and balancing their forest reserve abroad to look good in the international community. Atena Mika Winina. Unim say fuel prices are cut through.
Yeah.
Petrol is almost 12 cedis a liter, and it affects everything. Juma niho katua salaries in Kosu. What is the metro?
Yeah.
Until you share ye. The government anya balancing act to focus on national security and human security by removing the taxes they are continuously increasing on the petroleum build up now. basa sikrom ha security apparatus from say Sri Lanka say
Ai President Nikura Jana Krama
you can't blame the citizens. Nothing is going on well. Everything is hard in this country. So Mr. say, as an oil producing country, the barrel of oil was about $50-something a barrel. It's about 100 and something. So we are making money on that other side. So we need to do a balancing act and focus on our national security and then the human security and just stillage. And elections kitwa. Nti spillage no ba na eba krom ha emboaye
yo Mr. Kuti what the brand nti no ye kono mi bisa say SSA minister national security for the BB by say something enti ebra immigration for the nkrate ya bre ye de na timamfo no esi etimi ye ebre be hu se obi abaye mpotemu a wo ye niam bi ehu se ebia ye suspicious.
You see something say something was a good program or good initiative, but we decided to politicize it until we are not benefiting from it. About politics, in Ghana we are polarized on political lines. Until it's not even going to help to the extent that we even brought ambassadors for such a novel program. Ghana Penna might say Uber confronted terrorism, a very serious phenomenon like this with ambassadors. Did the government do anything about it? Nothing. Let me say, national security will come and engage the Ghanaian people and say, oh, we have heard your concern, we have heard. What I say? We need your support. In this fight, it's all about intelligence. It's not about the barrel of the gun. Say Nigeria soldier for it, their prison service, almost gas, almost machine guns, but because the people were way ahead of them with intelligence, they were able to outsmart them. And to me, the ambassador says, a time has come as a country, we need to speak truth to power. And yes, Mikasa San Wedao, table no 4 legs. You see, Ghana, you 2 legs, Bakubua, Basa Sikrum ha. NDC and now we NDC.
Mr. Kuti ya dasi bebre owura Emmanuel Kuti ne ni di nko mu de efa bambo ho ya je na dwenche efa nkrata Ghana Immigration Service for ede aba eboye kokose Nigeria for modwane every prison no betimi abanti anya hwe na ya hye ahodo no so yenhwe se beto ban agiban no se be bia Ghana gina no ehu eti ese mpanifo hwe mo mani da won mo fa bambo wanya sa obetimi afiri yachi abefiri yaraw ama ya firi prekro mu etiana nanom ewo ensiedo.
Na yetoa so eho na opani kwantrefo a woda Ghana Export Promotion Authority Dr. Afua Asabia Asare nso atotwasere Ghana adwumayekuo ahodo se wo mu anamonto ya aban etu afase obetimi atretre mfididwuma mu ewo man Ghana mu no wo mu enso mu yie pa se de be ye wo benya so emfaso na saye so ama ebetumi aboa ma nyema ahodo a wo mu ye wo man mu no wo mu atumi ayeniye.
Ghana International Products Award no enyumeku awodo wo my Ghana mu enioma wo mo eye a wo mo de ba abonten no na ya hweso ne papa mu na ne wo a wo bo adwumaden pa no ne ye de abo abaso emfempene ne aduonum yenu de no wo mo adan no adi 2022 de no na eno na pani kwanhwefo a wo da Ghana Export Promotion Authority ano Dr. Efua Asabia Asare wo de afutu akọ e de ama enyumeku a wo no wo my Ghana ha no mu nyina so wo mo emfa industrialization agenda no so mfididwuma eni so ade hu ne so na wo mfa entretre mu kwaba mu enye enioma pa emfa emfiri wo mu adwosuo se ne be ye benam so no my Ghana ha no ne ama no ne adwaman so no so wo mu ne ama no wo betimi akwakoton bi wo honom no manfo no ato na etimi atetere mu kwaba mu so wo de mu ye nyina emu Wasanso kasa ye de fa aban no krado ye a waye se opese wotai wo mu chi se ne be ye a made in Ghana products nso wo betimi abohu dewuro na yato ne nduduru.
Manufactured products accounted for 84.35% of the earnings in 2021. For an economy seeking to be an industrialized one in a decade, this is a good premise to leverage on. With a mandate as an agency under the Ministry of Trade and Industry, we will continue to encourage initiatives to seek to increase the production of made in Ghana goods to generate revenue for our local industries and consequently generate earnings to help shore up our forex reserves and support the imbalance of our economy's finances. The Ghana Export Promotion Authority readily supports with interventions that expand production of goods and services, add value to raw materials, and widen the export base. We also advocate and encourage interventions that foster a favorable business environment to promote export.
We have what we call the Progressive Licensing Scheme that affords micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises the opportunity to be able to access the markets quicker than previously. And we provide for them industrial support services in areas where they need support so that they are able to gradually meet the GMP requirements that you must fulfill before your product is registered and your facility is licensed.
Every 3 years, biano, in fact, basin biano, or the filling stations, we clean one tanks. The MPS were one officers are walk here. So the margin we do another one do. No, what year? I mean now, your filling station when you cut fuel, is the Guyanka Ama. I
think we all just need to stand together as one family. We fight the battle together and we can overcome it. Marketing is about more advertisement, reaching out to people, more CSR. Give to Ghanaians what Ghanaians have given to you, and your brand will stay, your brand will sustain. Not about only making profits, but also about developing the country where you live and the people you live with.
This awards, I'm saying if you are fear between mu calling every time be a kafam saka awards me. A change you may papa ye do Ghana hasi. Na make I say yeah Juman Kwan ye beda ye wasi. Your customers now mo beto ade o kafam no. Woman ama business na gina say the city here and na yesusu anya award no. Nti award in the edikan ye the ma customers no. Obi abetim aba branch or ebebu kakra ma no. Not the coffee sir. Because any customers na kai nyasa award inti
ye jina we say so ahome abaye ba kase bono ye beto aso.
abusuafo ma mu nyina akwa abaye to akase wo no eso
na watwe awieye enananam kramofo anase muslimifo no edi wo sala no eye dwanyini ene se yekum aboa odwampa otuadua ye de ahye yehu anyakopon alla animonyam eti dwumadie ni koso saa no na eye afahye kese edema muslimifo a ukotamale ne potemu a mo eye dwumadie ni bi na wono mo enenam so ema Dr. Muhammad Awal ekasa ye editu muslimi mabunu no anim se omofo mahomaso ene wo mo dwe no ento baby na omunya ahobrase esa se sa dwini no eye de bia ye de gba afode ama yehu anyakopon tie ma afode na ye ma ya brabo no ensi.
And the devotion of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, when his Lord tested him and asked him and authorized him to slaughter his son Israel, he made an attempt to execute the command of his Lord. But finally Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him from that trial and saved the life of Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. And we learn from this experience of Prophet Ibrahim that a Muslim life is all of trials. You used to walk and now you can't walk, it's a trial. You used to know and now you can't remember anything, it's a trial. You used to be a rich man and now you can't count even 100 cedi, it's a trial. You used to and now you can't do it, it's a trial. And the entire life is trial. Allah did that to you just to see how do you use your trial to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, celebration of Eid, particularly Eid al-Adha, it's not about what you are wearing and the dress and the makeup that you are coming out with. No. It's about coming out in your number and harmony in order to worship Allah and glorify Him. It's coming out to share love between you and your fellow brothers. It's coming out to forgive your fellow brothers. It's coming out to make sure that the less privileged people in the society have the opportunity to enjoy today. This is the meaning of Eid. The number of what you sacrifice cannot fetch the blessings of Allah to you, cannot fetch the mercy of Allah to you, cannot make you a lovable person to the sight of Allah. No, the only thing that you can use to meet the love of Allah, the mercy of Allah, is the kindness, fearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar, Allahu
ya de kasebo no kom finfini mantamu eho na chief imam ya wo commander edina aguafo abrim abato mpesua so ya wo finfini mantamu ye sheikh ya Shafiq Abdul Rahman na ode ato maburu ya wo mo zongo anim se atutura sem ene niema hodo etete saa no se zongo maburu edin enu nti wo mo ntwe wo mo ho emfiri ho
Nyankopon ye hena adom na ye mbabu na wo ya adom kese wo de mahen na osan ye nnome nso wo de mahen se anhwani ya mpeni bebre no na enama etekalum ana enama radio programs ana the television do na ehunde was watch amrobes obeche amrobes no ebehwe se omo ye baasa ebehwe na nwone bin nyina no nkremozin no okita radio do damna ebehunde orokodo ntino ma wasafata de yebayanyi de Islam no wa asazi mahende yebatso Islam nenyim Islam no nyankopon atso nenyim amen nye no nso ayeye nkremofo no de yebatso Islam nenyim ntimbabun a orite mafutu madarutu ambabun wonya wonenyim de wonkai ne wohunde Islam bepeja obegina mbabundo Islam nenyim begwaso so a obefiri mbabun nti obabun bia ombombozen na won yire no ho na won mia no na won sue adwuma na won tumfa no won kahye adwumam dama obeyema obibiara orbabo obabun bia ne zin no na wehunde obabun de kama bibiara kodo dama osafata na inso ontum nkodon fa man gide ahemfo na imamfo won so bobo ho mbodin de wo beji woni adwuma dama osafata ahemfo bobo mbodin de obatwi sikafo aba community no mu na wabobobo adwuma asoto woda man sabi gafra krona woro kodo no ne kese nyina ye obinum wonye adwuma obaye na se nimpa bia nso wo ho na nansa wanfa ye adepapa adebona na odbaka kaye nti mbatuta asre de Islam no obakọ n'enyim na wafa ne tampa ifra wogina mbabun na ogina awofo na ogina akyerɛkyerɛfo na ogina imamfo na ogina ahemfo so yenyina yedo yɛmmɔ na nyina yenye pampam som na yemma Islam ontum nkɔ dama osafata na Islam n'enyima ntew amadama ɛkyena bi no okɔbɔ nkramofo wodina wakade Islam oye suma otew.
Other projects or programs that we do for poor people, like we dig boreholes and we help them in if they have some troubles in their communities. And our work is not only for Muslim communities but also for Christians. We are targeting human beings before everything. That's our target: human beings and needy people, and help them. And we have schools, we have centers, we have orphans. We use the centers and the school centers to educate those orphans and also other students, orphan students. So our target is good education for the people, for the students, for the young generation coming, and having good health and good water for the needy communities, Muslim communities and Christian communities, needy communities everywhere in those 29 countries, and among them is Ghana. And I hope that this work will reach as much as possible needy people.
Adia masala anase dweninu eye depa no eye emwa na yeku omo te se nantwie odwan ne ne keka ho no aya na ma na ye depa enti no ono mo eton sa emwa ne bi no ene UTV anu edi nkomo bisom se sei na adeton no si koye no mo chese o wakua ko echenda bia eye pa afi we se de ende ye to ade pa o se afrase no na sikani wono mo na enema no so bo wo soro enti ama meto ade afi we se de enema no anase enam no mo ane bo no wo soro na so no enkrofo aba beto nti edi edwa me nya mfaso anya asem keto a afi we salade ton ne de omo se edi twam echenda bia
ya de edwede ne eya papa ya danyame ase this year yan hu bi da enoma boy din papa obi anim se enoma boy din bibi anya easy but this year dia se si enoma nto ya twantro nyame dia wa boy papa ya enoma asa bibi asa ana amafo gusu piano akra omonya bi nto nti this year dia nyame ya dana se papa ya nuwe musilifo na omo kire adom manyame se omo die nyame se omo ye no omo ba ya ama no aha nyina o se ndwan ne bo na ya den ndwan so this year yetimi ton ndwan 6,000 4,000 3,008 but ama fo ato na ntuye so ye to bi wa ha na ntuye so ye to bi 2,000 2008 1005 amafo atotobi wa ha and this year dia enjoy dia top papa nya agro
ya to bibia mu wa Ghana ha petro akosuro bibia akosuro but nantwenu ene enjoy no ni price no dia e normal it is last year the same thing nti nyame adum dia sesia dia ya ton nantwenu pa ene enjoy no. Actually, I know I enjoy a short 2 years. Now, up to now, I'm on for Eba, but music and hands. But I can't say the market idea. We had the
last year, this year, last year. Last year, I bought a crowd. Also, I bought a yes stone near my new price, or be bought on a price. Hey, or but also on your car, no demand. But last year, we 1,007, 1,008. Last year I bought 2,000 and also, but this year from 3,000 going 4,000. Omato.
See there to from one up baby, and so said they for so urano. It is a massapa. Omato no one pa. This year normal no sort of high. Crawford the normal April Cote d'Ivoire. That's under bar high, and so to find there than the mass Omato nina. Last year there. Ya tete binu so ato enso this year there ya nto obi aso anto there this year the matom bono pa
na wo affordable afahye ya ho ye nuanu muslimifo edi na UTV kasefo yete ye ho egu monten so ekọ monten ene ye nuanu ekotwetwe nkomo ekobisa wo mo se kwan ben na wo mo fa so edi afi afahye no ebi mu ekire se eniema ankoyi ebi mu so kire se eniema mu eye
onim se nyankopon adwuma dia as okaye no omo ye Caring International for Foundation. You could see they have standing here to help orphans, Muslim community, everything. If you are a Muslim imam, you have people in your mosque congregation, they give you cow. Omuma onantwe chama omunyina. Because ye we no nyakumpande nti. Nti enya na ye na ese ase. Akomsani Abraham oni na ese ase. Nti even a dinner dia boy Muslim no oni na efra ya Muslim. Ya kurum no na nhira nimpakro de won baba boy because Muslim bia de okase nde ye we ayedin wantimi ntwa oboa but omo atmache namama no
ye planning ye determine say ye be ni say ne say no so mostly economy needs me influence certain things but eventually no and yes say anko ya mo bia e be ko ya mo bi se ko ye ma other side na un say ye che obako phone disala obi di make sure say e be kan bia and na kura adwuma ye me sure say area ni mo bia obi afili se woni hu a dey make sure say be kan nia ye na tena so ache bia no afi bia ni wa yayi bibia enka ni pani
do de be ka say economy ni sa nyamanya nda ya my bre but alhamdulillah ya di salani pa this year ni de alhamdulillah this year ni de better than last year there no
as compared to last year this year die enyema mo ye din kasa na so nyame adorment yetumi enya kakra ekum aboa no but sister omani mo ye hey ye blue last year say yetumi kum emwa be 2 3 ye kum mo 2 3 but this year die ba ko peneja
Compared last year, it's not a lot of difference. That's why the engineer take count with it, but Salah is Salah. Every Muslim wants to do the bit that he can do. Until there's not a lot of difference now.
Adeshimama mugusu ehwe UTV anwumrebre mu kase bo ba bia ye du betwe ye ho na yakoje aboafo nkrato aba ye ba ye beto akase bo no eso.
Yama yehu akwa yede wase onya brani adaje atwen yen yede nsem no ekọ amnone ensemu a na Ukraine penifo ehwe bambo so ababe kasa na kasa yemu no eno mu kirem se wono mo hwe bambo so to banje ban ede ma omo no ebeye be empem nso ene ahanu ene ehwe omo kira kwan yehu omo na enam so amanipa bibisa se ene omo kwan yefo omo dwane ana eno na panyina wakasa ede ma omo fa bambo wo kirem se dodo no anu akwa akodi Russia fo ensem ebra Russia fo beto ehye omo so no omo fa niema bebre a asrafo ni bi ka ho a eha adwene papa ochese bi eye border guard adwumayefo ebi eye wono omo hwe bambofo ema abamu mpenifo ene ensensem bebra eno enanei mpenifo dia tudwa ewo Russia memu ene Ukraine memu se Ukraine fo dodo no ayira na omo gidi yese omo ehye Russia fo no ase. Neha ena nyumira kakasebo ayede ebesomo ewo UTV so no esi na aseda enkoma LS kutono no ena share matade 0244 378740 ena odente eye miti no ema me kama 0242307766 obia
me die me ana ma style me ho
Midi Ediopia ejewa kwade emene
ajwa obi ya obey
adamu nyina mwasi amamumo enesha